Now that's what you call starting the programme with a bang. A very good evening to you from Hurstmonceaux in East Sussex and Britain's biggest celebration of all things medieval.
Knights, fair maidens and wenches, they're all here as the castle fires on all cannons this weekend. Coming up in this special edition of Meridian Tonight. Bows, birds and bangs, we experience the loudest and most colourful parts of the festival firsthand.
To the manor born, the English knight whose home was this castle.
And I'll be exploring behind the scenes and letting you know whether the weather will be leading you on a merry dance this bank holiday weekend.
Also in tonight's programme, beaten and tortured by Mugabe's men. Tonight, Ben's back with his family in Kent. And Gatwick and Eurostar head for their busiest weekend ever as we head for the last of the summer sun.
Hail and well met, as they used to say in medieval times. That basically means hello and good to see you. Yes, welcome to Hurstmonceaux, where we're about to take a trip back in time.
Yes, and this beautiful 15th century castle and its glorious moat provide an absolutely stunning backdrop to this festival, which, as we've said, is the biggest of its type in Britain. It's been running for 16 years and an incredible 30,000 people will arrive here over the next few days.
Well, all day, a massive encampment has been springing up around us, and we'll be meeting some of those characters who are so passionate about medieval history they want to bring it all alive.
Well, we arrived here first thing this morning and we've spent the day wandering around these beautiful grounds to see that the preparations for the festival are now well and truly underway.
In medieval times, this was our ultimate weapon. It would have spread fear amongst our enemies. And to tell me about it is the master gunner, Don Mansfield. Don, just how powerful would this have been?
This, in its time, was the super weapon that was available. This would fire a 45-kilo ball, up to about a mile, in fact. And if you basically turn up with one of these at a castle, the castle would be very, very foolish not to give in their ground straight away.
Now, this is a replica, but it works, and
fully working replica, it's been used to fire a stone ball, and so that's how we calculated what it would achieve.
And you're going to help me fire it?
We're going to help you fire it, yes. It is wet.
Look what I've done!
Well, I'm in the Knights encampment now here at the festival, and the jousting is just about to start, which is one of the main attractions of the weekend. But the jousting can't start until all the armour is on. Now, after all the excitement of the jousting, you need something to calm you down. Sadly, I haven't found any mead yet, but I have found some lavender, which I'm told has some very calming properties.
And I found this beautiful lady, look at this outfit, who knows all about lavender. What was it used for in medieval times?
It was used for keeping the place hygienic and strewing among the rushes on the floor, and also for scenting bath water and for scenting your linens and your robes in the closet. It was generally a sort of hygienic and cleanly herb.
Stopped it being smelly times.
Indeed.
Why do you like the medieval festival in this period of history?
Well, first I like the people here. It's the most charming community of people. There's good real ale, there's good fun, and it's very relaxing.
has been an absolutely brilliant day, and things don't really get going until tonight. I have to say I was very jealous of you getting to fire that cannon.
Well, I've been told that only 20 people in the world have fired that cannon, and I am one of them. Amazing. Well, let's talk to the festival organiser now, Clive. Hello, Clive, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks.
The sun's come out at the moment.
Beautiful. It's going to be a fantastic weekend.
30,000 people. What is the appeal?
Well, the appeal is just the sheer size and scope of England's Medieval Festival. 2 full-scale battles in front of the castle and behind the castle daily, jousting on horseback, falconry displays, beer and food marquees full of real ale and all sorts of festive fare. It's just an amazing event with everything from the 15th century.
And the big parade led by these wonderful
Absolutely.
ladies in
Grand
costume.
parade, over 25 horses leading the parade, followed by the whole household of the Knights of Herspinso, and then another 200 men-at-arms and bowmen following behind. Amazing spectacle in itself.
But tell us, life was pretty brutish back then, so why do people love this period of history so much?
Well, it's the excitement and the romance of the era. It just captivates everyone, and there's been so many films and epics about the period. It's an exciting part of our history that people love to come and see recreated, as only we can do here at England's Medieval Festival.
And why is a Canadian man organising this festival?
Well, I'm often asked that, but basically it's because the history is our shared history, and this castle is owned by a Canadian university, Queen's University, and I was a graduate of that university.
Well, keep up the good work, Clive. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a fantastic time. It would be wrong for us to do this without saying hello to the ladies who are sat up there. Hello.
Beautiful costumes.
Absolutely, a glorious carriage as well, and this is something you can do when you come to the festival, if you do, over the weekend. We said earlier that the castle here at Herstmonceux is an absolutely spectacular landmark here in the southeast, and the gardens that lie behind it are almost as impressive as the building itself.
Well, it wasn't actually built to protect itself from battle. Here's Derek Johnson.
In 1441, one of Britain's wealthiest knights, Sir Roger Fines, got permission from his friend King Henry VI to put up a huge house in the country.
Roger decided to build this brick castle. It's not the stone Sheriff of Nottingham, Robin Hood fortress castle. It is brick built, quite unusual in fact. Not a castle to dominate, it's to let everybody know how important Roger Fines was.
A grand house.
A grand house, the forerunner of the Elizabethan house.
This is the inner court then inside the castle. It's vastly different from Sir Roger's time, but what would have been going on then?
Yes, I mean in Sir Roger's time when the castle was built, mid-15th century, this would have been full of buildings on 2 levels. Over there would have been a great hall. You had various small courts, not arranged symmetrically, and it would have been a hubbub of activity. You would have had the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker in here, the household.
I mean to spend my shoes, to dance about the Bible. I will be loved.
Just as striking as the house are the gardens, relaid in Elizabethan times, modernised since, but kept in the spirit of the man who built this magnificent place.
I think they would have kept it simple, with us, like the basis borders, they're straight lines. Like the borders here, there would have been squares. They wouldn't use any fancy lines like that. And I think with a typical hedging as well. I think they used a lot of hedging back then. The herb garden is, I think they would have had a herb garden in those days for the kitchens.
Wouldn't have been like the court of King Arthur, knights fighting and jousting. Would that sort of thing have been going on much like we're seeing at the medieval festival?
No, not at all. It would have been, well, it was Sir Roger's home, and one of the finest examples you will get in the British Isles and in Europe of a late medieval castle.
Oh, well, such jigging, beauty jumps, and you step back, like a jazzle, makes us move, you dance.